Welcome back to AFAR. Now let's jump a little bit deeper into forgiveness. I know we said some things during our first episode about what forgiveness is, but now we're going to talk about how do you be wise and forgive? Because I don't want you out there to forgiving everybody and just letting them off the hook that easy, but getting stuck in the process. So let's dig a little bit deeper into what that looks like. Forgiving, but also being wise while you forgive. That's what we're going to do now, guys.
Wow. And then that's, whew. Sorry, I got to pause. It's not easy,
Please,
Charles.
please.
It's not.
It's tough.
It might be triggering, but we got to go there. So here's the thing, Charles. If I'm forgiving you, do I need to be your friend? Because, it's that thing is like, okay, I forgive you. I got to do what I got to do to stay away, right? And then you have this thing of, especially for those of us in the faith, and I got to go there, Charles, right? Where it's like, okay, you got to forgive, you're Christian, all that, blah, blah, blah.
Turn
right?
the other cheek.
All that stuff, right?
Listen, I ain't my grandmama. I ain't my grandmama. I don't turn the other cheek. I throw them bows, though.
That's it, right? Hey, but I'm thinking about biblical stuff. But that's the question, Charles.
Yeah.
So if I'm forgiving you, man, do I need to be your friend? Do we have to be friends?
Listen, you are not a nun. And I don't believe that we're living in the era of turn the other cheek, right? When you forgive, you say, hey, I'm freeing myself, but you can still live your life. We don't have to be cool when I'm letting go of what you've done to me and I'm not allowing it to keep me stuck. And when I think about forgiveness, right, and how forgiveness works in a healthy way, is that you can't try to repair or bring relationships that have been destroyed based on someone else's actions or your actions together after you make amends to yourself. It's okay for you to make amends, say, hey, I forgive you or I forgive myself, but we don't got to be friends. We don't got to be friends. We don't have to be perfect. And I know what scripture says, but listen, that was the Old Testament when Jesus said, somebody said, turn the other cheek, right? Act like you didn't get hit. No, you got hit and you were harmed when you got hit, or you hit somebody else and you were harmed when you hit them. You don't have to be, hey, let's be friends. Let's hold hands. Let's be happy-go-lucky. That ain't real forgiveness. Real forgiveness is I can forgive myself or forgive you enough to say, hey, I'm not going to allow what happened to keep me from growing, but we don't have to be friends. You can live your life and I can live my life. That's true. That's real forgiveness.
Wow. It's not easy, man. It's like, I'm
tough,
thinking
man.
it's tough because I even have to write it down some of the question. So let's talk to the men out there, to the fathers out there, man. Obviously, whether you're divorced and co-parenting and all of that. So what if I forgive my kid's mom, right? And then I want to sleep with her. Oh, she wants to sleep with me. I mean, we got to go there, man. Because listen, it happened. We're human, right? You're like, listen, hey, things didn't work out, whatever. But we're human. I mean, we sexual beings. It's okay to say that, but that's the thing, Charles. So, how do you navigate that?
I like how you said we sexual beings, because I just said the real ratchet way, we freaks.
Come on.
Right? Hey, listen, let's call it, you're talking about sexual beings,
know what?
right?
I was trying to be nice.
We some freaks.
Come on, man.
We like having sexual activities. Now, that's the professional way, but we like having sex. We like getting ratchet, right? And you just got to say, hey, you know what? Listen, it's okay for me to forgive the other person, but I don't got to get in their drawers, man. Guys, we like to say, hey, I forgive you. Let's sleep together. Let's have some good sex and just be happy-go-lucky. Listen, you messing up your life, right? If you gotta forgive, and there's some things that could have easily destroyed you and them together, that means y'all ain't good together. So stay the hell away from her, and she stay away from you. But if you have a child together, still focus on the child. But at the end of the day, guys, stop trying to get a nut off in a crazy fractured situation. Forgiving isn't me sticking into everything that walks. That's not forgiveness. I forgive you don't mean I got to sleep with you. So stop doing that. Keep it in your pants, learn from the experience, and move forward. Be a freak with somebody else. But there's certain people you can't be a freak with. Listen, I have an off-limits freak list, right? I have my wife and I have everybody else is off-limits freak. I only can be a freak with her. So who's going to be your freak list? Who's going to be your off-limits freak list? And a lot of guys, let me tell you, we walking around here acting like we Mickey D's.
Come on, man.
Right? You got here act like you got the $1 menu in your pants, sleeping with everything that walks.
Order with extra cheese.
Listen, you got to act like you Ruth Chris, USDA. You got to be selective. If you already had it and emotionally you all were not good together and some issues occurred, you got to stay the hell away. Stop lying to yourself. I'm tired of us going around here lying to ourselves. Look, you just got me fired up.
True,
you ain't Mickey D's.
Come on, man.
You are not on the $1 value menu. You're not an extra fry, right? You got to make sure that whoever gets it deserves it.
Come on, man.
Forgive them, but don't sleep with them. You ain't got to sleep with everybody you forgive.
No,
women
you don't.
in particular.
No, you don't. You don't. You know, it's funny because I'm thinking you don't have to stop being obsessed with the newness, right? It's like, you know, like they say in the street. I mean, I got to say, you want to smash everybody, right?
The newness.
So the newness. And,
I
and
love
listen,
that.
It can be an obsession. And we talked about this, Charles, right?
Addicted.
We talk about the addicted and we talk about, you know, the power, you know, of that addiction. Because, you know, the newness, you don't know what to do.
I'm going to help you out, Larry. The power of the vagina. That's what we talk about.
That's
Larry, you can say vagina. You just can't say the P word.
Thanks for helping me out, man.
No problem.
But listen, right, the power of the V. See, I can see every side. Look, I'm starting. But listen, the reality is this, that we know it's a struggle, right?
Yeah.
And we understand. Listen, we're human. We have to humanize this thing in the sense that we get it. But once you're in that place where you don't know what to do, so what do? You know, when you want to addict it? And then you're like, okay. And then you put yourself in a situation where it becomes toxic. And then you got to deal with all that drama. And then the whole forgiveness comes in like, okay, how do I forgive now all this, you know, multiple kids' mom? Because you're going to be stuck now. So one of the things, you got to follow what works for you in terms of not to cross that road. I mean, hey, even, listen, this is what I do. If you ask me, Leonard, how many celebrity you sleeping with? I'm going to say a lot, but in my mind.
Okay.
All that means, follow me, all that simply means that, look, you're fantasizing and all that, but you don't have to act on it. The same thing, you know. Charles, let's say you go to a bank, man, you're like, okay, I'm tired, man, I should rob that bank. You don't have to act on that thoughts. The point was saying that we're trying to promote healthy thinking, right? It's all in the mind, man. You don't have to cross that road and just operate everywhere, man. You know, you all over the place. Yeah. So, and this is why we here. I mean, listen, get support, man. Learn how to refrain. You get what I'm saying, Charles?
Listen, you're talking about discipline. You're talking about self-restraint.
Come on, man.
Right? You're talking about being able to control yourself.
Yeah, whatever works.
And, you know, we're talking about a lot of forgiveness with women, but there's also forgiveness with people who have hurt you from other things, right? Friends, family members. Listen, there's another thing, misconception about family members. Now, this is important. Some people think that because we family, we got to act like nothing didn't happen. Mm-hmm. Right? Come on. You hurt me, but yo, I'm your cousin. I'm your first cousin, but you just put a knife in my back, but you my first cousin. Right? And we cool again. Let's dap up. Let's make it. That's unrealistic. I have a saying, right? Family or not. If you cross me, I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to love you, but it will all be from a distance. You can love people from a distance, y'all. You can forgive and say, hey, I like you, but I got to talk to you every day. Let's be real. So these misconceptions that you make up in your mind, for example, i.e., you're my family, I got to pretend like you didn't hurt me. i.e., I love you, you're my child's mother, I forgave you. Now let's pretend as if nothing happened and start all over again. Guys, we got to stop putting these misconceptions in our mind. Be real. If it look like a duck and it act like a duck and it sound like a duck, it's a duck. You know what I wanted to say in between that, but I didn't say it. I didn't say it, guys, but you can have to make out those words. Listen, don't be fooled. It's a duck. Believe it's a duck, okay? I'm telling you right now. Because you be trying to make it, I think it's a duck. You know, I was burned. I think it's a duck, but it ain't a duck. Nah, it ain't a duck. No, you think it's a duck because it's a duck. So accept the fact that it's a duck. Stop trying to make it a bird or a swan or a freaking zebra with pink stripes.
Charles, hold on, wait. Oh, man, it's funny. Wait, let me ask you this, Charles. So
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Add into that because they come down to the issue of trust thing, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that intersectionality between forgiveness and trust. That can be hard.
Absolutely.
Because now I don't trust you. That's why, you know.
Yeah. Listen, I look at forgiveness as a way of saying, you know what? I'm free. I'm free now. I'm going to live my life unrestrained. I'm living my life unrestrained, right? I am free from what happened in the past. Now, the difference is just because I forgive doesn't mean I got to trust you. See, the Bible can kind of make forgiveness all glossy, right? I forgave you. We're starting anew. It's a clean slate. My version of forgiveness is a little bootleg. It ain't connected to the Bible. It's bootleg as hell. Just like bootleg alcohol, my version of forgiveness is bootleg, right?
That's it.
I forgive you, but what you done still sticks. I learned from it. There's a lesson in that mess that we've experienced. I learned that we're not compatible, right? Perhaps you had a relationship and I don't know, something end up happening. You're not compatible. Or I learned that you're not ready to be my father. I learned that you have some things you got to deal with and I got to stay separated until you're ready to deal with them, right? Take away the lesson from your forgiveness. Don't ignore it.
Come on.
Right? Which means you can't trust people that you have already been harmed by, right? You can trust them to a certain extent, but don't put yourself in a situation and think that because you forgave them, you got to forget what they did. Don't forget. Learn, but don't ever forget. Be unhinged. Forgive, but don't ever forget. Learn and apply. That's what you need to do. Listen to me, because I want you to come back in next week and be like, well, Charles, I forgave. I turned the other cheek. Charles didn't tell you to turn that other cheek. Now, Jesus may told you to turn the other cheek, but I didn't. I ain't conflicting with Jesus, right? But listen, you could turn the other cheek slightly and then say, you know what? I forgive you, but I still don't trust you, and that's okay. I hope that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, the message is very simple. That's why we title Forgive, but be wise, yo.
Be wise.
Wisdom. How to be wise. Just wise. I think learn from the lesson, takeaways, and just keep pushing and keep moving, keep healing. We on a healing journey, Charles. It never stop, right? You ain't gonna put a deadline on healing. You're not racing. It's not an Olympic. You know, I think it's a long race. But remember, message very simple, y'all. Forgive,